Mr. Speaker,
Otherwise,
point of order.
I will personally
Mr.
prosecute
Speaker,
her.
point of order.
Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, what rule is the subject of the point of order of
Mr.
the lady?
Speaker, today is not a Monday. May I know why the Honorable Atienza is standing up and again spreading misinformation that tetanus toxoid causes? Mr. Speaker, with the answer of the Majority Leader, allow me to enlighten him that our rules say no matter can be discussed without a quorum. I therefore move that we call the roll.
Session suspended.
We can call the roll a million times. I'll still challenge
Mr.
her.
Speaker, may I request the Secretary General to bring the honorable colleague out of this floor. We are not on session and he keeps on talking.
Ito na nga, labis ang tensyon matapos sumabog sa galit si Lito Atienza. Janet Garen nagalit din. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Galit na galit nga itong si Lito Atienza matapos sabihan ni Janet Garen na nagpapakalat umano ito ng fake news. Mainit naman itong sinagot ni Janet Garen. Narito ang buong detalye.
Is now recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. Speaker. As I was saying before I was interrupted, we totally disclaim any fake news sourcing of what we bring forth in this chamber. We have too much respect for the Congress of the Philippines to be entertaining fake news. An allegation was made from the gentle lady, and I'm replying to her. I am challenging her to a debate before the public so that whoever is proven guilty, if I'm proven guilty, I should resign my position here. But if I can prove her guilty, she should resign from her post, and I will go further. We will file the necessary charges that we shied away from earlier. Yung Dengvaxia is a campaign which exposed children to dengue and to possible death. Up to now, we do not know how many actually died because of Dengvaxia. And the responsibility of the Dengvaxia campaign rests on the shoulder of the lady who is violently reacting to what we are delivering. With that, Mr. Speaker, we rest our case.
Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize our esteemed Deputy Minority Leader, the Honorable Janet Garin.
Representative Janet Garin is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is our distinguished colleague willing to be interpellated?
I would actually give more preference to more important matters on the floor. But if the lady would want to engage this representation, I never refuse a lady. Gladly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague. My first question is, did you feel or did you hear your name being alluded to in my interpellation in the privileged speech of the Honorable Bernadette Herrera D. yesterday?
Mr. Speaker, common sense dictates, and I have a lot of common sense. I was the one interpellating, and then she followed by questioning the interpellation and the message that we were carrying on the floor. So, who else could she have been referring to? The wind? Congressman Daza? Ako po nakatayo rito eh.
So, Mr.
Kaya,
Speaker, my question
kung sinasabi niya na hindi ako ang kanyang pinatatamaan, para sa akin, tama na yun.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, I am not saying anything. I am asking a question. Narinig mo ba na sinabi ang pangalan mo, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues? Or let me rephrase my question. If you did not hear that your name was being mentioned, did you feel that you were the one being alluded to?
The lady is speaking like a seasoned lawyer. with double meaning questions. Of course, I was feeling that I was being referred to because I was the one interpellating Congresswoman V. But if she would want to say now, officially, I was not referring to you, Mr. Congressman. I will accept the words of a lady. As I said, I respect the rights and privileges of a lady as differentiated from that of a man.
Mr.
Kung
Speaker,
sasabihin niyan,
distinguished
hindi ako yun, hindi ako yun.
Mr. Speaker, ang sinabi ko po na ang fake news ay nakakasakit at nakakamatay dahil maraming life-saving vaccines ang nasira dahil sa mga maling impormasyon, lalo na kung ito hindi nanggagaling sa mga eksperto. Again, Mr. Speaker, I was not specifically alluding to any person unless he or she is guilty that they or he or she is pretending to be an expert where he or she is not. My point here, Mr. Speaker, if the Honorable Atienza is requesting me to say that I am not alluding to him, ang isasagot ko po dyan, depende po sa kanya yun, kasi hindi naman po niya ako kasama 24/7. Kung meron po kayong mga sinasabi kaukol sa bakuna, matatamaan kayo. Pero ang sinasabi niyo naman, totoo, hindi po kayo matatamaan. Let me move further, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Atienza was actually saying that he was interpolating the Honorable Bernadette Herrera D., who was actually expounding on the campaign for a rapid polio vaccination campaign because of what is happening in our country now and the low polio vaccination coverage of IPV, which is pegged 40%. What is the relation of tetanus toxoid to polio vaccine?
Mr. Speaker, this college of members elected by the people should help one another. If anyone has any knowledge of anything, it is his or her duty to help the one delivering the important message. Our intention was to guide Congresswoman D. that the problem lies with a question of credibility on the part of the DOH. Credibility and confidence of the public, which were lost because of the tetanus toxoid chicanery. Ang sabi sa mga ina, yun daw ay proteksyon sa tetanus. Ang tanong namin, bakit babae ay kanilang ini-immunize, samantalang manggagawa, karpintero, kaminero, mangingisda, ang siyang tinatamaan ng tetanus. So we researched, and we found out the toxoid was laced, 20% of the toxoid was laced with HCG. Alam ni Doktora yan, Secretary of Health. Should know
Mr.
that.
Speaker, distinguished colleague.
Anyway, let me finish my reply. Otherwise, we will not get anywhere. Ang amin po ay constructed that we must now address the problem of lost credibility and confidence. Sinundan on the Boxes scandal, where this house was rocked by that scandal. We spent long hours investigating, and we had found out all the data that we needed to send some people to jail. But in deference to relations and memories of camaraderie, I think the report was not enough and was not pinpointing responsibilities. If the lady felt alluded to, again, hindi ko rin problema yun. Problema nila yun dahil sila ang nagpakana ng Degvaxia. Ang problema ngayon, ang mga ina nagdududa sa gobyerno para
Mr. Speaker,
bakunahan yung kanilang mga
if I
anak
may,
ng polio vaccine.
Mr. Speaker, if I may, para hindi
Mr.
po tayo
Speaker,
dito,
I
let's
cannot
take
tolerate
it one
anymore
at a time.
of
Mr.
this
Speaker,
kind of actuations where the rights of a member of Congress is curtailed. We will not allow it. Allow me to finish, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, ang punto ko lang po na sinasabi sa ating kasamahan dito, para po hindi nalilito ang taong bayan at yung ating mga kasamahan, let's take it one step at a time. Let's discuss polio, and then tetanus toxoid, and then dengue vaccine. Kasi kung pong ginagawa po nating chop suey, hindi po naintindihan ng mga kababayan natin yung ating mensahe. That's why I was interjecting, Mr. Speaker, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Speaker, malinaw na malinaw po sa aking isipan, niloloko ang tao, kaya nawawala ng tiwala ang mga ina. Ibalik natin ang tiwalang yon, magpababakuna lahat ng mga bata.
Mr.
Ang mga anak ko ay binakunahan sa health center, 6 noong mga panahong nakaraan, na buong buo ang tiwala ng mamamayan sa mga health center. Ngayon, tanungin nyo mga ina, dalawang duda nila. Baka yan yun na naman tetanus toxoid, o kaya Dymvexia na naman yan. Kaya, ang problema natin, pagtulong-tulungan nating harapin. Let's help Secretary Duque regain public confidence and credibility so that we may be able to vaccinate children who may be exposed to diseases.
Mr. Speaker, if I may, that's why I wanted to clear it up and interpolate our distinguished colleague here. Unang-una po, I am with you, distinguished colleague, in saying that we should help DOH bring back the confidence of the people in terms of public health programs. Kailangan po yan, and that's why if you observe, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, in the series of budget hearings, I was very keen in telling DOH and Secretary Duque maximize and utilize the experts rather than just letting them sit there. Una po, Mr. Speaker, baka po hindi po naintindihan when he mentioned that I was alluding to the statement on the DOH bringing back the confidence of the people to DOH. Hindi po yun ang problema, Mr. Speaker, when I interpolated the Honorable Bernadette Herrera D. I stood up not because I am a congresswoman, not because I am just a doctor, but more so because I am a mother who also has children. I have actually been trained on advanced vaccinology, but I have never flaunted that. And my training with the University of Geneva taught me many lessons. First, vaccinology is actually a very foreign topic that is difficult to laymanize. Kaya nga po nung narinig ko ang tetanus toxoid, and I was actually of the impression that polio vaccine was the one being discussed, I stood up because of a matter of obligation, having also been trained on the aspect of obstetrics and gynecology. Mr. Speaker, if the Honorable Atienza will allow me, tama po yung tanong niya, ay bakit po ba yung mga lalaki, yung mga manggagawa, yung mga kabataan, hindi binabakunahan ng tetanus toxoid? Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, mali po yun. The government vaccination program actually has DPT-1, DPT-2, DPT-3 at 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 months old. DPT stands for diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. It's a vaccine that is 3-in-1. So at 1.5 months old, libre po na binibigay yung bakuna ng tetanus sa lahat ng mga baby. Ang second dose po ay binibigay at 2.5 months old, and the third dose is at 3.5 months old. Subalit, dahil pagka lumalaki ang bata, bumabawas ang bisa ng bakuna, when I joined the DOH family, meron naman pong syntaxes, minarapat po namin na yung obligasyon ng pribadong mga magulang ay ibigay sa DOH. Ano po ba ito? The government has been providing the first 3 doses for free. You need at least 5 doses in your lifetime to be immune from tetanus. That's why we embark. Kasi ang nangyari po, yung private na ang nagpapabakuna at 7 years old and 11 years old at hindi nagiging epektibo kasi walang pambayad yung ibang nanay. That is why we started the school-based immunization campaign where the 4th dose of tetanus toxoid is given at 7 years old and the 5th dose is given at 11 years old. Kaya pagka ikaw ay lumampas na sa edad na 11, you have actually completed the 5 doses. Ano po ba ang sinasabi ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan? He is actually referring to the tetanus toxoid booster that is given to pregnant women. Binibigay po siya 2 beses habang buntis yung nanay dahil nung panahon na yun, wala pang school-based immunization program. if you missed your tetanus toxoid at 7 years old and 11 years old at manganganak ka, marami po, Your Honor, ang nanganganak sa ospital na minsan contaminated ang mga gamit at dumadami po yung ating tinatawag na tetanus, neonatal tetanus, and the tetanus that infects the mother. If we see our record, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, nung tinanggal, by virtue of a court order, tinanggal ang tetanus toxoid sa buong bansa, somewhere in the mid-1990s, ang dami pong namatay na mga baby at mga nanay. Kaya agad po itong binalik. And now, just last year, the Philippines is proud to have been declared free of neonatal tetanus. Kaya po ang tanong po ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan, bakit hindi yung ating mga lalaki at magsasaka at ating mga kawani, binabakunahan rin po sila. Kaya lang, binibigay po ang booster doses at 7 and 11 years old. And kung meron po tayong mga calamities, makikita nyo po yan, yung ating pong mga mayors and governors dito, pagka merong mga bagyo, o merong mga lindol, o may mga nangyayari, agad-agad sa evacuation centers, nagkakaroon po ng booster shots ang ating mga public health workers. Kung ikaw naman ay nasugatan o na-aksidente, binibigyan ka agad-agad ng 2 klase ng tetanus. Yung po yung tinatawag na TTIG, which is actually tetanus immunoglobulin, ibig sabihin within 24 hours dahil may sugat ka, at yung isa naman pwedeng sumunod lang. Yan po, isa lang po ang libre sa gobyerno, yung isa po binibili. Bottom line, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, is that is basically the reason why I stood up yesterday. Because I was seeing that the privileged speech being delivered by our colleague was actually shifting into a lot of issues covering immunization. And the issue on tetanus toxoid causing sterilization has actually been one of the backlogs of vaccination in our country and one of the reasons why neonatal tetanus was not eradicated. On the issue naman of MMR, or the measles, mumps, rubella virus, that was coined falsely and fakely with autism, Dr. Wakefield has been removed of his license. Yan nga po, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, ang rason kung bakit ako tumayo. Tumayo po ako, kaakibat niyo po ako na kailangan tulungan natin ang Department of Health. Pero kailangan alam po natin ang totoo para wala po tayong mga maling statements with regards to vaccination. Mr. Speaker, our distinguished colleague here mentioned how many more deaths will be caused by Dengvaxia. Is our distinguished colleague aware of the December 22 declaration of the World Health Organization, followed by a declaration of the Strategic Advisory Group of Experts of the World Health Organization in June and again in August of 2018?
First of all, Mr. Speaker, we would like to thank the lady for a lengthy medical protocol lecture. I learned a lot this afternoon. But anyway, tinatanong po niya kung ano ang aking pananaw tungkol sa tetanus toxoid.
Your Honor, my question was, are you aware of the December 22 declaration of the World Health Organization in Geneva that was followed by a June declaration of SAGE, which stands for the Strategic Advisory Group of Experts? Still, it's aligned with WHO, but that's actually a component organization represented by vaccination experts and infectious disease specialist experts in each country, and another in August. Are you aware of that declaration?
I will answer that with a basic question. When you implemented the Dengvaxia vaccination, were you not aware that you should have been very careful in selecting the children to be vaccinated? Dahil ang sabi ng Sanofi, nakinig po ako sa kanila, we told the Department of Health, be very selective. Only those who have been exposed to dengue should be vaccinated. The Department of Health did not follow that. We had a massive recruitment here in Congress. Congressmen were told you are given 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 children as your quota. Kaya ang dami pong nabakunahan na hindi dapat nabakunahan. Tama po ba yun? O mali din ang Sanofi at mali din po yung aming pagkakaintindi?
Mr. Speaker, that's why I asked the question, kung alam po ba ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan, yung December 22 declaration ng World Health Organization in Geneva that was actually sent to all countries, especially the Philippines, at yung pong sinunod na advisory ng Strategic Advisory Group of Experts, otherwise known as SAGE. Ano po ba ang SAGE? Ang SAGE, ang organisasyon ng buong mundo kung saan isa o dalawang eksperto ng pagbabakuna ang kinukuha ng WHO and they meet twice a year. There were 3 declarations, 1 statement, 1 message. Nobody has died of the Dengvaxia vaccine and the dengue vaccine does not cause deaths. Kaya po sinasabi ko ito kasi kanina sinabi niya ilan pa ang mamamatay. And these are actually the statements that has created and sowed fear sa ating mga kababayan. Moving forward, Mr. Speaker, our distinguished colleague mentioned, hindi sinunod ang sinabi ng WHO. Pasensya naman po, mawalang
Hindi po ako
galang
nagsabi
po.
noon. Ang Sanofi ang nagsabi
Mr. Speaker,
noon.
let me finish. Hindi po totoo yun. Everything that we did was aligned with the WHO guidelines at that time. When Sanofi Pasteur requested for a change in labeling, that was what they did. It never said that it is linked to deaths. They were simply categorizing the endemic countries and the non-endemic countries together with the zero prevalence status of each country. Nung ginawa po ang dengue vaccination program, pinag-aralan po yan, sinimulan noong 2005. Wala pa po ako sa DOH. Itinuloy po hanggang 2010, natapos noong 2014, ando dun na po when I assumed the only problem there was the implementation because the Department of Health was awaiting funds. Kaya nga po, Mr. Speaker, kung minamarapat po ng ating kasama dito is that I will be very much willing to make a PowerPoint presentation of how the decision was arrived at upon resumption of session, all the guidelines and compass that we have followed. Ito lang po ang tanong ko, Mr. Speaker. Sa pananaw po ba ng ating kasamahan, kung totoo ang haka-haka ng mga hindi eksperto na nakakamatay ang bakuna na ito, bakit po patuloy ito na ginagamit ng 21 countries plus the European Union countries plus the United States where the US FDA is actually one of the most, if not the most stringent food and drug authority in the whole world?
Mr. Speaker, this is a typical male-female dialogue. 1 word from the male, 100 words from the female. But let me answer that question. Why do governments still use Dengvaxia? Because they're using it according to the application rules of the vaccine. Dito lang po sa atin, tunay na hindi ginawa yung dapat gawin ng Department of Health. Kaya tayo nagka-problema. Anyway, I've said that. I will always say that. I will never change my position. Although in the investigation in Congress, she did not hear me question. Why? Because I respected relation. But now that she has said a lot of things, I repeat my offer to her. Let's debate on this issue.
Mr. Speaker,
On television and prove to the Filipinos that you did not commit an error of judgment. And I will prove otherwise. And whoever wins in that debate will remain in the Congress of the Philippines because the loser should by delicadeza resign. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, I have the same mutual respect to my colleague. Unfortunately, the issue on I'm a female and he is a male, I don't want to put meaning on that. We do not tolerate sexism in this house. But my point is, babae ka man o lalaki ka man, isa lang po ang pinanggagalingan natin. Yan po ang boses ng taong bayan. So it will not actually erase or delete our passion to serve our people. Dahil para ke pa na nandito tayo kung hindi tayo tatayo upang sabihin ang katotohanan. The challenge for me to resign, if indeed Dengvaxia causes deaths, surely, Mr. Speaker, I welcome and I accept that. I've been saying that several times, dengue vaccine does not cause deaths. At kung ang sinasabi niya dahil ginawa ng ibang bansa, ang hindi ginawa ng Pilipinas, my challenge to the Honorable Atienza is to make a call to all the incumbent ministers of health of the 21 countries plus the European countries and the United States of America and ask them, did the Philippines do it right? Or what is the fault of the Philippine DOH? Lastly, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, vaccination is a very tedious, masalimuot po ang topiko na ito dahil kung matatandaan niyo po, even when Apolinario Mabini died because of polio, he was misconstrued as having died of a sexually transmitted disease. So much so that his family, bearing the burden of public ridicule, despite what he has done for our beloved country, decided to stand up, exhume his bodies, and prove to the world that Apolinario Mabini died of polio. They were able to isolate the polio virus in the course of the marrows of his bones, proving the wrong news and the wrong impression that he died of a sexually transmitted disease. Ganito rin po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honors, ang nangyari sa mga scientificong gumawa ng mga bakuna. Sa mga scientists na minsan hindi naiintindihan ang ginagawa nila para sa taong bayan. Vaccination is actually a very difficult task because you earn the fruits of what you plant after several decades when you already eradicate the disease. I will not back out, but I will still stood firm in saying that vaccine and vaccination saves lives. Maski po sangkatutak na kaso ang ipatong sa akin, I will not stop in speaking up the truth. Because why will I be afraid in doing my duty? Bakit ko po kakatakutang tumayo at alagaan ang mga batang Pilipino kung ito ay aking obligasyon? Science is at my back. Every statement that we make, every issue that we answer, every move that the Department of Health does during my tenure is backed up by voluminous documents of 24 years of trial. Kaya po, isa lang po ang masasabi ko. I cannot please everybody. But if, Mr. Speaker, you know that the truth is behind your back, you will always stand up. Because being afraid and failing to speak the truth and failing to defend the helpless children who badly need our vaccines is just like saying, you do not deserve to live this world. You do not deserve to be called an honorable member, an honorable public official. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, vaccination is not just our children's obligation. It is the right of every people. It is an obligation of our government. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Speaker,
Proceed.
we would like to thank the Majority Floor Leader and the Speaker who gave us a chance to elucidate one another on this issue. I will leave the rostrum with one message. There are three things that cannot be hidden: the moon, the sun, and the truth. Maraming salamat po.